Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative2xmom and it's time for October favorites. So as I'm sitting down to film this video, it is November 1st and I am wondering where in the world this past year has gone. October was a complete blur between fall baseball and Noah's birthday. We finally squeezed in a trip to the pumpkin patch and I will link that video down below. Trick-or-treating, my birthday came at the end of the month. It was just a crazy whirlwind of having family in their house, of having Noah's friends spend the night, and constantly going to games and keeping up with 3 kids. So I'm looking at November 1st on our bulletin board right now and thinking, where has the time gone? But October was actually a lot of fun because we started to get some fall weather. It's cooling off quite a bit the next couple of days and we have some rain in our forecast. So it really started to feel like fall around here. So whenever October rolls around, I get this craving to read one of my favorite all-time books, and that is Anne of Green Gables. I think most of us have read this novel, at least most of us ladies, and it's one of those books that speaks to me every time I read it. Back in September, my daughter, who's in the 4th grade, was looking for a new book, and I thought, I think it's about time to hand her this. So she read it in September and loved it. And then after she read it, I thought, man, I have got to make time in my schedule to read that book. So I read it in October and absolutely flew through it. It's this coming of age story of a young orphan who's adopted by an elderly brother and sister who live together. They had initially planned on adopting a little boy and ended up, through a miscommunication, ended up with this little orphan girl who comes to live on their farm, and it's about her growing up and her adventures with her friends and growing up on this farm, and how she goes off to college and as she comes home to take care of the family. So I read it in October, and since I had just read it, my daughter just read it, on the night that we had my son's friends come and spend the night, my daughter and I sat down and watched the video. This is by far the best version of Anne of Green Gables. It's the Kevin Sullivan production that was put out by, don't think it was BBC. Canadian Home Video. And very, very good. Megan Follows is amazing in this. Of course, I'm trying to think who plays Marilla Cuthbert. Anyway, this is the best version of the book. Follows it really, really closely. My daughter and I were tracking along and talking about, oh yeah, that happened because this, and oh yeah, that happened because that. It's very closely follows the book, and absolutely, if you have not watched this before, you've got to see it. A lot of times the movie is a letdown after the book, but these two are so closely related that it's, oh, this speaks fall to me. Anne of Green Gables is definitely my fall read, fall movie. We have the next 2 or 3 in this series as well that we're going to sit down and watch together over the next couple of weeks. Another thing, I mentioned my birthday is in October, and so my husband and kids went out and they bought me some flowers. They bought me my very favorite flowers. I love lilies. I love how they just open up and they're huge and they're colorful, and these have been so incredibly fragrant. They went to Costco a couple days before my birthday and Costco had them, and so they came home with these. These are my favorite flower. If you can get a hold of any lilies this time of year, which they can be hard this time of year, but if you can get a hold of them, definitely pick up a bunch and have them in your house. I love the orange ones. Wouldn't those be beautiful with a Thanksgiving tablescape? Oh my gosh, those would be stunning, and they would be unexpected because they're not necessarily a fall flower. So those, that gives me an idea. I'm gonna have to look into that one. The third thing that I have for my favorite in October, I went to go get out of my cupboard to share with you in this video, and I realized I'm out of it. And so I'm so bummed and I'm gonna have to go to the store today. And that is Good Earth tea. If you saw my fall tag, one of the questions was coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. And I had a really hard time deciding which one, because I love my coffee in the mornings, but this Good Earth tea is so wonderful this time of year. It's really cinnamony, homey. It's got like these deep, rich flavors in it. I wish I had a box to show you because it is amazing. There is no way, it's like It has this scent of like just Christmas to me. Very spicy, very homey, very much so curl up on the couch with a good book kind of a tea. So if you get a chance to pick that up, make sure you do, especially this time of year. It tastes wonderful. My favorite TV show right now this past month was The Middle. I don't know how, somehow my husband and I stopped watching it in the spring because we realized we were several episodes back from the spring. I think it was probably baseball. And we all of a sudden were like, oh man. So we went on abc.com, found the old episodes, started watching them again. The Middle is absolutely hilarious. It's got the actress from Everybody Loves Raymond, the mom. She's also the mom in The Middle. And if you are a middle class, working family, raising kids, just trying to figure it all out, this show is for you. My husband and I watched an episode the other day where she went and bought her son a suit and she was giving him a lecture about not having a wallet. And we were practically on the floor laughing because it is my relationship with my son. It was like watching the two of us on television. So if you get a chance to watch that one, I'm telling you, we are really into comedies and it is absolutely hilarious. My favorite photo this month, I kind of have it narrowed down between two. It would either be my son's baseball team photo from this past fall because we had so much fun. That for my husband and I was a ton of fun. The parents and the coach and the kids just clicked this year. Everybody got along really well. He played with like two of these boys before. A lot of these boys had not played on the same team before. A lot of us didn't know each other as parents prior to this season, and it was a team that just absolutely clicked. So I love that photo. The other photo I'm going to insert right here. So that was a photo that was taken of my husband and I on Noah's birthday. He's 12 this year. I can't believe that he's already 12. I am putting together a video of his birthday. There's not a lot of like me talking to the camera. It's a lot of home video, but it was just one of those days where I turned around and looked at him. He's grown so much in the last year. And I looked at him and I just thought, 12, like 1 year away from being a teenager, 6 years away from being out of the house. Time has just flown by, and I cherish those photos where my husband and I can just be with one child on their birthday and we can have that moment in time just kind of frozen. So that was my favorite photo from the month of October. And I think that's about it. Those are my favorites for the month of October. Would you leave me a comment down below and let me know what some of your favorites are for this past month as we're moving into fall and we're moving into Thanksgiving and the holidays are going to be upon us before we know it. I'd love to see your ideas. I'm always checking out new products and new things that you guys love, so leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also check down in the description box. This video is part of a collaboration which is being put on by Project Happy Home. So I will leave the playlist down below. Some great contributors every month. Hope you guys enjoyed this one and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.